Hello guys, welcome to Sim UK. This is Gunsmith. This is an early access pre-alpha look at this rather fantastic game. Now this is basically a game where you are managing a gunsmith factory that's been left to you by your father or something along those lines. You can start in a number of different ways. There's easy, normal, hard or gunsmith mode. I think we might not try Gunsmith. Gunsmith's probably the gameplay mode. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to go on easy and I'll show you how all of this game works. So this is like an introduction review to this game.
Good morning. It's me, Vienna. I know this has taken longer than expected, but I'm happy to tell you that we've started to conclude your father's estate. I've sent you the keys for a small factory that you've inherited. Use the front door with the padlock. Unfortunately, there's not a lot left. Much of it was reclaimed by creditors after he passed away. You'll want to start by getting familiar with your surroundings. There are some things left over that you can most likely use to get you started.
Wait until she's finished. That's basically the backstory, and I believe this is our character over here working on the invisible laptop. I'm sure that will get fixed in time. This is, remember, pre-alpha, so this is very early access. Now, the basis of the game is this stuff over here. These are machines, and these are conveyor belts, and you combine these machines and these conveyor belts in order to produce military grade equipment. That includes missiles, bullets, vests, gloves, boots, the lot, backpacks, all kinds of different stuff. Let's just skip this tutorial.
You seem to know what you're doing. I have to go away on important business for now. If you need me, you can get in touch, and when I'm back, I'll contact you.
Now, you'll notice that she doesn't complete the entire sentence. Again, this is pre-alpha, so there's a lot of stuff in here that's a bit glitchy and a bit unfinished, and a lot of it's going to change, I have no doubt whatsoever. So although I've got fairly decent sort of movement of the camera, what I can't do is look up or down. Now I don't know what the benefit of that is. I really don't know what the benefit of that is, because I don't think it's going to gain you any FPS, and it just feels restrictive. I'd like to be able to zoom in and look up a little bit. You know, all this stuff is 3D modeled, so there's no issue there. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if enough people sort of request it, and that's what I'm doing right now, by the way, if enough people request just having free movement of the camera, then maybe one day we'll get it, because it's almost like flipping a switch. In the Unreal Engine 4, which is what this game is built on. And you can see the detail is absolutely brilliant. I mean, these are all fictitious things. These don't really exist in the real world. Like, for example, these can chuck out cloth or plastic or whatever. That's not how it works. But, yeah, I mean, the premise of the game is building complex and elaborate systems in order to meet orders within a certain time frame. So let's go to orders right now, and you can see that in active orders we have nothing. Available orders we have basically, because we're starting out, everybody wants camo gloves. Camo gloves is the easiest thing to make in Gunsmith, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start making some camo gloves and maybe one or two things on top of that. Now you can see up in the top right when a job expires, and you can see how long you've got in order to produce it. So this is 3 hours, 5 minutes and 8 seconds of real world time. The game itself, if I move that out of the way, ticks over at 1 minute per second. So it's not that you're working on, you're actually working on real time for orders. And actually I think that works really well. That's really quite cool. So in addition to that, certain things will be needed. Now, to start off, we have all the machinery we need, plus a bit, in order to produce camo gloves. So let's grab this here, and you pick stuff up by double clicking it, and you rotate with the R button, and you pop it down where you like, and so on and so forth. Over here you've got Demolish Mode. If you click on that, you can sell these items. If you accidentally buy something you didn't want, you've got 5 seconds to select that and delete it to get all your money back. Otherwise you only get 30%. Again, I think that's quite well thought out, and I like it. There's only a couple of things that I've seen so far that I would like to see changed, but bearing in mind this is early access, this is all stuff that we can put requests in and give feedback to the developers on, and hopefully they'll pay heed and get that done. So I've wasted an entire day. Workers are excited. Things look bright. The future promising. The factory is starting to shape up, and the horizon is expanding. So by this moment in time, I should have already set up some stuff and started building. Now, there's no way to speed time up. It goes at the speed it goes, and that's it. I don't know if that's going to change in the future. I kind of hope it doesn't, actually, because it seems very well balanced at the moment, and I think it's going to work really well. That being said, there are things like this stuff. I'm hoping some of it is, because these pop up and it kind of blocks the game, everything stops, complete silence, and bearing in mind you've got the hum of the machinery constantly, it's kind of a game breaker, like an immersion breaker when this pops up. I think it might be better if you had like a little message pop up here. Maybe you get an email and then you go to your laptop and you log in. I think that would work better than what they've got here. But again, this is early access stuff, so nothing to worry about really. Incidentally, the workers are excited. There are no workers, none at all. Maybe that's something that's coming in the future. I don't know, to be honest with you. So let's begin by starting a machine build. Where should we start? Where do I want to start this? I suppose we could just start it here, couldn't we? Right, so that's as close as I can get to that. Now, it's always a good idea, in my opinion, to put a spacer between objects, because you will almost certainly be wanting to add to stuff. So this just makes a lot of sense to me. So, actually, I'm going to move this over here. I've got an idea. I've got a plan. I've been playing this for about, I don't know, 2-3 hours last night. It's really good fun. It's not going to suit everybody. Not everybody's going to like this game. But I do. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really, really good indeed. Right. Okay, so we're going to start over here. Actually, we're going to go this way. I've decided. And we've got another one here. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. Ah, see, that's a bug, because when I click on it, this pops up. So if you're trying to grab it in the corner, that's one issue. It's not a bug so much as it is an irritation. And hopefully they'll sort that out. Right, so we've got two machines. That seems pretty good. Again, if I could move the camera up, I'd be able to move all this stuff over here much easier. Right, so let me just introduce you to the UI, as it were. Up here we have resources. These are the things that we need in order to build products. New orders available. This is what we need to build products. Now, we start off with fabric sheet and plastic block. There's more stuff you can buy that you unlock as you play. We've got 200 units of each, and if you run out, you go to market, you select on this, and you buy more. Now, this fluctuates. So at the moment, fabric sheet is really expensive and plastic block is really cheap. Well, it's not really cheap, but it's quite cheap. So I think what I might do is just grab some of that, come down here, let's say 1,000 units. It's going to cost us $2,000. So we'll buy that. And now we've got loads of plastic block. You can see up here, this is our money. And if we go to finance, you get a breakdown of your current situation. It's pretty limited, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, overall, it does the job it needs to do. And what you'll see down here is as you start producing things, you'll get a list. And then we go back to orders. Once we've got some active orders, you'll be able to... Let's take some of these on. We've got 3 hours to do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, they're all requesting different amounts. 300, 300, 160, 180, 140. So we're going to be the camo glove experts here. Oh, and you'll get these things popping up as well. Today, imitating. Goodness me, try again, boy. Today, an intimidating fella came to the factory. He was escorted by 2 heavy bodyguards, probably armed. They wanted high-quality military gear, and they did not care about licenses, legal matters, or any of the sort. They only want quality products, and they are willing to pay as much as needed. No questions asked. They brought an offering as a sign of good intentions. So the client's name is Danny Werner. His alias is Torfius. He's from Germany. He's 27. And the organisation he works for is the intelligence agency. which is a bit weird. So his bio is the secretive type. Danny has neither been heard from or seen since joining the Special Forces. The dedication shown to his lifestyle is truly remarkable and clearly pays great dividends as he is extremely successful at what he does. All that is known of Danny these days is merely a rumour spread amongst his old friends that he enjoys nothing more than his own company apart from his 2 bodyguards, and that he always pays his debt. So this is like the subplot, the side story of the game. I haven't really experienced what the implications of this is going to be, but you have like a reputation between all these clients. And if you fail to deliver, obviously it reduces. And if you do a good job, obviously it goes up. Now, it does say, I mean, it's mentioned here, they want high quality military gear. They do not care about licenses, legal matters, or any of the sort. There are certain things that you can make that are illegal, but you can do it if you want to go down that route. Now, this kind of suggests, and I haven't got that far into the game to know for sure, but this kind of suggests that there is a legal side to this game and perhaps police, and you could end up in jail or heavily fined. I don't know. But it's interesting. I expect that to sort of expand and evolve over time. Anyway, we're going to take this. He's going to give us 8,000 and our reputation with him is going to go up by 20. Good. Do business with us and you won't regret it. Sounds a bit threatening, doesn't it? Now, one thing I don't like is that the available orders and the active orders look exactly the same. So it's so easy to accidentally confuse the two. But again, early access, all that's going to change. It's all going to change, guys. It's all going to change. Right, so let's come over here. Let's start this process rolling. So you can see that they're heading in the same direction. These things never turn off, by the way. So things you've got to watch out for are gaps and having your these things going in the wrong direction. And you can sort of pass stuff between them. I think the camera needs to move a bit quicker as well, because although we only own this bit that sort of here, you can also buy all this property down here as well and expand your working practice, as it were. It's relatively big. Goes all the way down into the corner there as well. So I don't know how you buy that stuff yet. I haven't really seen access to it, but yeah, I mean, it's going to get pretty large. And to be honest with you, even a basic system gets pretty intense. Now, we are making camo gloves. So we go to the cookbook. You can see the different things we can make: fabric gloves, camo gloves, and plastic fittings. Now, in order to make camo gloves, we need to combine fabric gloves and plastic fittings together. So we need to make these, we need to make these, and then we need to combine them, and that will give us camo gloves. So if we click on that, you can see here we have the process by which that's going to happen. So you need a dispenser machine, which will utilise, it will cost you £25 a day and use 5 in electric. The other 2 are gas and water because they all require different things. So we need 2 dispensers, which we have. One's going to do fabric sheet, one's going to do plastic block. Then we need a heater for the plastic block, and we need a cutting machine for the fabric gloves. So let's go grab those. Really do think the camera needs to move a bit quicker, or at least in the options. In the options menu, it would, to me, seem like a good idea to have the option to alter this. Right, let's grab that there. Oh. Really wish I'd built over there now. Let's start dragging stuff over. That's probably the best way. Speed this whole process up a bit. Right, okay, so this is all the stuff I think that we're going to need. So if we start here, and this can heat stuff up. So this will be the plastic machine. So when you click on a machine, you get this pop-up here. And because this is a dispenser, we can select the output, and we'll pick a plastic block. I think I've got a cold coming. I can feel it. And this one then is going to be the fabric sheet. So this one's going to make the gloves. This one's going to make the little plastic bits that go on the gloves. And then we're going to combine the two together using the merger machine, which is this one here. Now we need the cutter. We need the cutter. And you can see on the roof of the cutter we have an arrow indicating which direction stuff passes through it. So we'll put that there. So that will cut stuff. And then this here is the plastic former. So we take the plastic in its raw form, which is the block coming out of here. The block will be heated up by this machine, and then this will transform it into a plastic fitting. And that's that. That's where we are with that. Now you can see that these no longer line up perfectly, and that could be a real enormous pain in the backside. But we will fix it. We will sort it. It's not going to be a problem. Primarily what we're going to do is something like this. So you can see we've got this single unit here, which are so useful, but we've only got one in the entire building. And if we come down here to the build menu and look at belts, you can see we've only got 2 meter belts available. So what we need to do is unlock them. So I'm going to do that now, because otherwise I'm going to waste a lot of time. So this is the tech tree. It's pretty limited at the moment. You've got utilities down here, electric, gas, water, etc. Here you've got shelving, and that becomes very important when you start cranking out quite a lot of stuff. You've got maintenance costs, which are the daily upkeep, and everything that's sort of highlighted. You can see this is dark and this is bright. These are things we've already unlocked. So we've got the 2 meter belt, boxing, end of line, and the first level of racks, which is what, 3 high we've got. And then down this side here for combat apparel, so backpacks, military equipment, vests, that kind of thing. We will need a man working for the intense individual, Mr. Werner, came today with a list of products. He said that he wanted fast delivery, camo gloves. 27 minutes. Oh, that's putting the pressure on. Right, we're going to say, yeah, we can do 500 camo gloves in 27 minutes. I don't think we can, but we'll have a go and we'll see what happens when we don't deliver. But we'll have a good crack anyway. So let's speed this right up. So in order to make combat apparel, you need to have heating, forming, merging, cutting, sewing. Sewer level 1 and zipper is level 1, and that gives us gloves, and then we can unlock extra stuff. That was a bit chucked through, but we need to press on. So up here is how much you're going to spend a day. So 5% is £10,000 a day. We've only got 200,000 in the bank, but that will give us 50 RP a day, and that's kind of about where you need to be when you start out, because these things are expensive. At the moment we have 0 RP, so we can't actually unlock anything, but this is what we want to unlock, is this belt's tier 2. Now I've got an issue with this, because the 1 meter belt, the small one I was just talking about, is available in this. But then you've got these razor belts. That one goes 2 meters, it's 2 meters long and it goes up. This one is 2 meters long and it goes down. But there's nothing that you can put in between them. So at the moment they seem completely pointless. But yeah, just saying. Right, whoops. Sorry. How do I close this? I can't remember. Reset, close. There we go. Right, let's crack on because we need this pretty quickly. Now that's going to be annoying if I try and put that there, so we might have to move this out of the way and just jam one of these wonky ones in. Okay, so stuff will come out of here and flow onto that, and this will come out here and flow onto this, and that will give us a nice forward flowing momentum. Now this is a merger machine, and what we want to output is camo gloves, which requires fabric gloves and plastic fittings. Now these things can process at a certain speed, so you can overload them very quickly. You do need to be aware of that. Now as part of the camo gloves, if I go back to the cookbook, you'll see that where is it sewing. We need level 2 sewing. Now the sewing machines we have are level 1, and another thing that I think is pretty cool is that if you put 2 level 1s together, that gives you a level 2, which is what we need, which I think is quite clever. Okay, excelente. Oh blast, look, this thing goes the wrong way. Is it going to fit in that gap? Oh, it will. Unbelievable. So this is the end, basically. This is the where it pops out. This thing here turns them into boxes, or puts them into boxes, and chucks the boxes out here. The boxes come out and are automatically stacked on these things. Now, there's no logical way in which these are added on there, which is a bit of a shame. What I'd like to see in the future is that this puts the box on the nearest shelf. So then you could, for example, get some of these racks and build them here. So you can sort of keep track of your progress. Now some of them will go here, and also you can stack these, and because we have a level 3 we can build up 3 tiers high, and you can get these up to about 5 or 6 tiers or something like that. Right, okay, next thing I need to show you is line control. Now this is the camo glove line 1, and if we click on that you can add machinery, so this is very important. So if we add all of these, I don't know what just connected and disconnected from my PC, you can see they go green as you do it. And now basically what we've done there is we've added them all to this, so we can power everything on and power everything off from one location. You can also add a station like this, which I've not done before, so we'll pop that there, and so that means we don't have to go line control and open that. We should just be able to click on that and it pops up straight away. So that makes things a bit easier, but it costs obviously a bit of cash. Right, I'm just going to go through and check this. So plastic block, fabric sheet. Aha, I missed one. Turn those into gloves, please. That heats them up. That creates the plastic fittings. So it takes plastic blocks and turns them into plastic fittings. Some of these things, like the heater, for example, don't have any options. So heaters are just dumb terminals, whereas these you can combine to do many different things. So this is now going to take fabric gloves, plastic fittings, and make camo gloves. These are dumb. This is dumb. That's it. This should work now. Turn that and power on. You can see all the lights on the top go green, which means they're all active. Here come the blocks. Here comes the fabric. Fabric will be turned into gloves. There you go. And the big square blocks have been turned into these little plastic bits. And they come into this combining machine. I'm not sure how well we're going to see. You can see they've been combined and they're coming through. They're getting stitched. And then into this machine here. And you can see they're filling up. So when this gets to 20, we'll have a box. The box will come out, roll over here, and fill this up. Now, the logical thing here is that what you want to do is speed up the process. So, for example, you can see that going in there, well, the time it takes for that to go through this and come out the other side is a lot longer than the time it takes to produce these things. So what you'll find is that you'll have a lot more plastic fittings than fabric gloves. So, you know, logically speaking, you want to increase the amount of gloves that you're making. So you'd put a second machine in here possibly. Now to do that, you can either put a second one of these in on a second conveyor belt and have a second cutter, or you could just have 2 of these and you can double load this, but this will still run at the same speed it does. So this is the slow point here, and having 2 cutters is definitely the way forward. So the amount of gloves that the amount of fabric sheets that we have in there is kind of on a 1-to-1 basis. So I think we could probably speed that up a tad. So let's start by buying a dispenser and see how this goes. Now, bearing in mind this isn't a pre-orchestrated system that I'm building. It's kind of happening on the fly whilst I'm chatting to you, so I'm not necessarily concentrating 100% on what I'm doing. Definitely the camera needs to move a little bit faster. Right, so that's facing the correct way. So we'll set this to output fabric sheets and then we'll power it on. Now you'll notice that we've added a unit here, and if I come to the control deck, we will need to add this one, because otherwise that won't turn on and off with everything else. So now you can see we've got double sheets coming in, which means that's going to build up. So it's not processing those at a 1-to-1 rate, but equally we're not getting any extra stuff coming in. So that's not exactly ideal. Now what you can do is you can get something called a splitter. So if we go back to research, down here we have what's called a splitter, and that's going to cost us $5,000, sorry, and 100 research points. Now we've got 96 because because we're only making 44 RP a day somehow. I thought I put it on this one, 52. That's what I wanted. So I'm going to have to wait an extra day. Excuse me, I'm going to have to wait an extra day for to have enough to buy that research upgrade, and that'll take an extra day to build. So as we are, have we got any boxes yet? We should have. I think they're probably over here. Now, this is what I was saying. There we go. Yeah, we've got 4 boxes so far. Now this is why I was saying, as a suggestion, it would be good if it filled up the nearest rack to this rather than just randomly anywhere. Because if you're looking, if you know how many, if you know a box is 20, then you know a single run is 60, 120, 180, and then you can work out how many you've got here, so you'll know when you're ready to ship an order. So that, I think that would be a nice improvement, quite simple to do, and it would make things, I think, a lot better. Now, arguably, you could fill these up, and when they're fill up, it will then start producing here. But the issue comes in when you've got multiple system/machines set up. So, yeah, that's not going to work perfectly. An old square-faced gentleman came today. His face was harsh and yet soothing and calm. He probably saw too much in life. We talked for a few hours. He's an old friend of my father's, a proud soldier. Gerard is his name. He was quite secretive about my father's old business, but he offered me some financial help, a gift for friendship's sake. Of course it was. So the client, Gerard Smith, Jerry, has some offering for you. He's going to give us $15,000 that we'll accept. We shook hands and I thanked him. We will be doing business. Old friends are precious. Now, it's either a stitch-up or it's a good idea. Now, we need a second cutter here to speed things up. So let's go to cutting, buy a cutter, and just pop this here, like so. So I'm going to build this the way I need it first. Have an issue there because it's not going to fit very easily. I'm going to have to move all that. That's annoying. Okay, fine. We'll semi-build it. We'll put it where we need it and then sort it out afterwards. So we go to the control deck, we hit power off. You'll see that everything powers off. Another thing I like is that it's still flowing. So it only stops when it's processed what it's got. So now all that's processed, we can now channel this out. Actually, I don't think that's going to be far enough out. Let's go 2. Now, there's sort of try and get the arrow lined up. Nope, not on this occasion. Just to the right of the arrow. So yes, sometimes it's a good idea to leave a lot of space because like I say, you will be expanding at a later date. Right, we'll bring this back up, we'll add the new cutter, and we'll power on, and everything's up and running again. Now you see we've changed the channel, which means we'll have 2 lots of fabric glove cuttings going on. This one's still got 194 in. So what I could do, theoretically, is... what's going on here? Oh, we're out of fabric sheet. That's not good. Well, it's expensive at the moment, but we need some desperately, so that's going to cost us 7,000. This fluctuates, by the way. You can make money just by doing that. But anyway, that is that. Can we complete any orders yet? We've got one that's really short, haven't we? Now, there's no way to order these, so they just come in, I think, in the order in which you accept them. So 16 minutes and 22 seconds we've got to produce this, and we've made 140 out of 500. But we just put a second cutter in, so hopefully that'll boost the amount that we have, and yeah, hopefully. We'll see. We shall see. Now what I could do down here is put a splitter in and have a second merger machine, because you can see we've got 165 and 1 fabric glove. So these are kind of going through at a 1-to-1 ratio, which means we're never going to catch up with these. Now, I think there needs to be a way to transfer stuff. So if I have 2 machines, I should be able to go into it and say, take half of those out and put them in the other one. That kind of thing. None of that's implemented yet, but it's I mean, it's early access and it's already extremely stable, extremely polished. We're hitting a solid 60 FPS. And when I say solid, I mean bang on solid. It hasn't dropped down to 59 at all. And I built some pretty elaborate stuff last night. So yeah, it matters not. It's extremely powerful indeed. I think I'm going to move this thing over here. There we go. I think it's better placed there. That gives us all this space here to boost production, if you will. So, what can we put in here? We need, what's this called? A merger machine. So let's go find a merging machine. So I'm thinking something like that. We're going to need 2 more sewing machines. Keeping an eye on our money, of course. And a boxing machine. Now, boxing, there we go. Now, there is an issue here because that obviously can only take or accept 1 box. So I think what I'm going to have to do is bring this other one over here, which I know we have, and sort of line it up like so. Ta-da! Something like that. Now you can see that we've expanded the entire system quite successfully there, and it seems to be working okay, I'd say, but we can definitely speed things up, and this is how the game is basically going to evolve. Now this is just one side of the game. As I say, there's the legal aspect, there's the business aspect, there's expansion, there's probably new stuff coming. The tech tree, I imagine, is going to grow, and although the game is currently called Gunsmith and it's focused entirely on Gunsmith, you could take this system and apply it to anything, because anything you buy starts off in a factory like this. So, I mean, you could start making mobile phones. You could expand into any area. If you imagine a DLC that just unlocked mobile phone buildings and stuff like that, you could even expand the game out so that there's a picture of the globe, and you can buy warehouses in different areas of the world and invest in that, get employees involved. You could even start having legal documentation. There is a licensing thing here, actually. Let me show you this quickly. In research, I think it is. Yes, we want a splitter as a start. So you can only research one thing at a time, by the way, and that's going to take a day before that's ready. So over here, this whole golden area up here, this is ammunition building, if you will. You need to unlock all of this stuff in order to make ammunition. So be careful what jobs you accept. And you can see that there are licenses for each of those. The license for this one requires you to have a 150 reputation with the National Army, which means you're going to have to sell them a whole bunch of stuff before they're happy and give you a license to do that. Now, technically, I guess it's possible that we could just build that stuff without a license, and that may or may not work in our favour, because obviously it's going to make us a lot of money. Is there a cost to this? There should be a cost to this, shouldn't there? That should be expensive as well. And then by not getting the license and just going ahead and doing it, I think that would be interesting. I'd like to see that. Anyway, we're building a splitter, which means we're going to have to turn the machine off again. And I think what I'll do is I'll transport this to come in here, and we'll make this the splitter point, so this can just come across as well. And then it'll all be fed into the splitter, and it will split stuff between these two, and then we can have all this working. So let's just add our new machines to the group, so everything can be turned on or off at a simple flick of a switch. And then we can put a splitter in here, and that should really start, that should basically double our production times. Speaking of which, have we got some boxes appearing now? We do. Can we get this order done? We've got 10 minutes left. We've got 300. It's going to be tight It's going to be tight. It really is. I mean, these two are the tight ones. 37 minutes and 10 minutes. But this one, I think we might just do it, you know. Especially once we get this in. I think we'll be fine once we get this in. So we're kind of waiting on this. Now, incidentally, I don't think this clock and day thing is properly working, because it feels like some of this stuff unlocks in less than a day. So I'm not sure if that is the case or whether I'm just imagining it or what. But again, you know, early access alpha game, so it's not a big deal. It's all going to get fixed, and I'm not worried in one little bit at all. How are we doing? 795, 884. Doing pretty good, I guess. Pretty darn good. Just want to get this splitter in here, and then this machine I will regard as complete. Is this getting backed up at all? No, that's not getting backed up. So I think we could probably... Well, it's almost... Yeah, it's almost being held up. It is fairly constant. So I don't know... We could put a splitter here and have two of these machines, couldn't we? And then double this up. That would increase production quite considerably, I would say. Okay, we'll think about that. We'll think about that in the future. We'll see how it goes. I am going to want another conveyor belt, so rather than spending money... These all use electricity, by the way, these conveyor belts, so do be careful with them. Don't just willy-nilly buy them. And you'll see that some of these things are capable of having double input, like really wide entrance doors. I haven't really fully utilised that yet, but I mean, it's pretty obvious to figure out you could have things coming in from the left and the right going into that machine, and that would work pretty darn well, I imagine. But we're not at that stage yet. We're just starting out, so we just put one smack bang in the middle and keep everything neat and tidy and organised. How are we doing on the research? Job done. Right, we can now come down here and find... I've got a terrible cold coming, I can feel it. A splitter. So we'll pop that there, and then we'll come into the... Where's the line control? That thing. Power off. It shuts everything down. Should stop processing. Good job. Right. So that can go there. I may have put this in sort of a wonky way, actually. I'm not sure. So everything seems to be flowing back into the middle still. And we'll pop this... Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? It's going to be bloody awkward, isn't it? That is a problem. Alright, research, quick emergency research. Let's go for belt packs 2. That's going to take a day as well, but that will fix the problem. I don't want to move everything, I just really can't be bothered. Now, it's so easy not to line stuff up. I'm sure once you play it a lot, you'll be able to do it straight away, but sometimes you just kind of put stuff in the wrong place and you won't notice it. And it will drop on the floor, so you have lots of products on the floor, and you won't know what to do about it. And over here we have something called a hoover. And the hoover, I don't think we've dropped anything because I'm very neat and organised. Yeah, we haven't dropped anything. So if stuff gets backed up and a machine can't process and all of it, it will drop on the floor and you just click the button and hoover it up. It will also hoover up anything that's on these machines as well, and it will go back into your inventory. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, I guess. I like that. Right. Yeah, we kind of need some singles here, don't we? I mean, I could do one. Oh, no. Even a single's not going to fit. Oh, what? Do you know what? It's all going to have to move back. bit irritating. No, actually, it's more than a bit irritating. It's very, very irritating. Now, what have I misaligned there? That still seems to be in the right place. Okay. Right, let's just check. Alignment. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. 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 Yes! Now that should fit. Oh, you sod. You absolute sod. Well, that didn't fit a minute ago. Okay, these are the problems that you will face. The irritation is just almost unbearable. Right, so this is going to fit. I'm telling you now. That's going to go there. That one's going to go there. Could I do some sort of elaborate... just to get it working, you know? Just to not continuously irritate myself. Yeah, this will work. I mean, this is a pain in the arse doing it this way, but it will work. And I guess that's the most important thing. Bearing in mind, we've only got, what, a couple of minutes left to finish this order. That'll do. That'll do for now, donkey. Alright, turn that on, hit the power button, and away we go. Oh! Almost didn't turn the splitter on. Okay, so we grab this, we'll add the splitter to the machine. And you can see the arrows on the top, and it's just basically chucking. It takes everything in and it passes them out one way than the other. Now I'm a bit concerned. Yeah. See, what you're going to get is you're going to get a system whereby you end up with more stuff one side. Oh my gosh. Come on, man. Pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, so this merger machine is now active. We've got plastic gloves and fabric gloves coming in, which means we should theoretically have, yes, we've got 2, 3, 14. So that's going to boost production quite a bit. What an absolute balls up that turned out to be. Most irritating, but we found a solution which will do in a temporary basis. No problem. Right, orders. Active orders. 400 out of 500s. We've got 2.5 minutes, so this is going to be a bit tight. A bit tight on this one. As soon as we make this order, we'll see that available orders for oh look, 1 hour 39 minutes, 2 hours 53, 153, 1 hour and 2 minutes, 1 hour 57, 1 hour 39, 1 hour 30, 3 hours and 11 minutes, 2 hours and 3, 1 hour 32, 2 hours and 27. Now they're all camo gloves, every single one of them, because we haven't completed an order. But as soon as we do, we'll get extra stuff to build, extra things that the game wants us to manufacture and build. Now, part of the reason why I've made this sort of overly elaborate craziness is because at some point this machine is going to be making more than one product at the same time. So that's the reason for that. But we have to first complete an order. Now I've got to find that one that's really short. It would be great if this auto aligned to shortest, or if you could manually do it. 1 minute and 28 seconds. We need 60 gloves. It's got to be close. There's another box coming out there. Halfway through to a box there. That's 40. Goodness me. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Oh, how exciting! Are you all excited? I'm excited. This game is absolutely superb. Really, really good. It's an indie game. If I haven't told you anything about the game, it's by Seacorp Technologies. They both develop and publish it. It's 2 guys, built on the Unreal Engine. I don't have a price yet. Comes out, well, there's an embargo, so it comes out today on the 25th of May 2018. I'm actually recording this a couple of days early. But yeah, definitely this is one you should have in your list of games. in your collection. Has something run out? 30 seconds. Nope, we've got loads of stuff. 25, 24 seconds. We need just one more box. One more box. 15 seconds. Oh my lord. We took too long sorting it out. 17, 18, 4 seconds. No, we're not going to do it. And that job is gone. Your reputation with Danny Werner Torfius has decreased. Well, there's the box. That was the box that would have fixed everything. Unbelievable. So, not good. Let's complete this one here. So we've this is the next one to go, 26 minutes. They want 140. We've got 500 in storage. So we click the tick button. That job goes away. You can't see it because that's in the way. You get some money coming into your account, and that's pretty much how it all works. So I'm just going to dish these out because we've got quite a few. So let's get rid of the ones that are running out fairly soon. 1 hour 27. Oh, we don't have enough for that one. So yeah, selling gloves doesn't make you a lot of money, and we've spent a lot of money trying to get putting all this machinery together. So there is a real sort of management aspect to this game that you will have to keep an eye on, and so on and so forth. It would be great if there were employees, bank loans, all that kind of good stuff, but it's so early access, and even though it's so early access, you can see just how well this game has been put together. It works really well. I'd love to see the camera movement allow us to look up and down. I just find it restrictive as it is. Everything else moves perfectly fine. The zoom in is perfect, no issue there. It's just the up and down tilt on the camera I wish we had. Some of you won't worry about that, but it bothers me. Additionally, I think things like this flow splitter, you should have an option here, because this is a dumb terminal again, but I think you should have an option here where you can say load the left, load the right, load both. But again, these are suggestions that can be made and implemented, and I think that would be a good one. But overall, very impressed. Very good product, and I don't know, looking at the sort of thought that's been put into everything, I think this is just going to turn out to be a really good, successful game. Hopefully you agree. Let me know in the comment section what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It means so much to YouTubers that you hit the like button. Basically, it means we're doing a good job or we're doing a bad job. And if you don't give us feedback, we don't know. So if you don't like the video, hit the thumbs down button as well, and then I'll never make another video like this one. But that's it for today. So thank you for watching. I'm going to try and get a few of these up. I don't know how many. We'll do as many as we can. But yeah, really good game. Definitely recommended. Even though I don't know the price. As long as the price isn't extortionate, then it's recommended. That's what I should say. Until then, until next time, take care. Goodbye for now.